Are you about to lose it over a toddler tantrum? Be it at the supermarket, at the park, before bedtime, during mealtime, or just about everywhere? Are you embarrassed by such glares? Oh wow, you do sure have your hands full, end of quote. Or you're worried that you could be doing something wrong? Well, I'm here to tell you, you're just doing fine. Enough times I've had parents ask me that question. Oh wow, how do you manage 3 under 5? Isn't that house in chaos? How do you manage and prevent the meltdowns? Today I want to share with you our positive discipline techniques that we use around our home. We want to understand, what do I do? How do I manage when these tantrums show up? And remember, toddlers will always test your limits. So how do we handle it? And so that's what I want to share with you today. And before I do that, if you haven't subscribed, please click on that subscription button and support your girl. So let's begin. Number one technique of positive discipline is setting boundaries and teaching consequences. Why is it so important? One, by setting the boundaries, it helps a child to understand that they'll not always have their way. Number two, it helps them to know and understand that if they misbehave, this is the outcome. And number three, it helps the child to remain and to keep safe and secure. I'll give an example. When I'm telling my toddlers to go out and play around the compound, I will allow them to go and play. I'll even let them play whatever they want to do. If they want to play soccer or ride their tires or play with their toys, do whatever you want to do. However, do not go to mommy's kitchen garden. That's a boundary. And what happens if you go to mommy's kitchen garden? This is what will happen. I'll either take away your toy, or I'll either take away the play time. So when the children are playing, they'll be cautious enough not to step, not to throw balls in mommy's garden. You've set the boundary, you've taught the boundary, and it's clear. All right, so it's very important. Something else about boundaries is that mean what you say. If your no is no, let it remain your no. Be consistent, be firm with your decision. Avoid always saying no, stop, don't. No, stop, don't. Let me tell you, if these words are used so often, what will it happen? It will lose meaning. So instead of always telling someone, oh, stop doing that, stop entering the house with shoes, don't do that, how do you want to change to that? You can say, before you get into the house, remove your shoes. Phrase it in a different way to bring the same meaning to these children. Remember, they are toddlers. We're talking about small children who are still learning and observing. All right. My number two technique is positive reinforcement. Verbalizing your gratitude to your child. You know, many times we tend to verbalize the negative things and remind them and guilt them of things that they've done, as opposed to verbalizing and magnifying the positive things, you know. So it's important as a parent to verbalize your gratitude to your child. Things like simple things like thank you, thumbs up. You know, when the boys are incorporating their younger brother in playing with your toys, in sharing, thumbs up, thank you for playing with your brother, thank you for holding his hand. When they started school, they used to come with smiley faces, and I would always ask them, so what did you do in school to get that? And they would say, mommy, I colored well, I obeyed the teacher today, I was a good boy at school. And I was like, that's a nice reward to show them just you appreciate their effort, you know. And so we started doing that. So when they pick their toys or they want to help me in doing something, I'm always giving them a smiley face and appreciating. And what this does is that it helps that child to even want to do better things. Think about it, and as adults, when your spouse or your friend appreciates you for doing something, you want to do it even more. You become so happy. That's exactly the same way children feel. When you appreciate them, they feel good. And what gratitude does, it reinforces good behavior. All right. My number three technique is redirect the behavior or the action. A good example is on Sundays after church service. Most of the time I'm a bit hungry, and you can tell the tantrums are just about to come. You can feel and you can tell. You know your children so well. What do I do immediately? I redirect that action or behavior. I might look outside and just look at something and bring it to their attention. For example, I might see a policeman. Most of the times when I see the policeman, I'm like, oh wow, look at that policeman. What do you think he's doing there? and all the attention moves to the policeman. So we start discussing what do you think he's doing there, or even something like a billboard. I look at a billboard, I'm like, oh wow, look at that, what are they advertising? And we start a conversation. So by the time we've finished and we are talking, we are almost home, and I'm able to melt down that tantrum, and I'm able to serve lunch, and the tantrum is over. So think of creative ways that you can help you to distract your toddler or your preschooler, so that the tantrums are not out of place, you know. My number 4 technique is asking questions versus telling them what to do. A good example is when they're finished playing with their toys, I will ask them a question. Boys, what do we do when we finish playing with your toy? We'll be like, it's time to tidy up. And you might even start singing a song. Tidy, tidy, tidy up. Everybody tidy up. This is something they've been taught in school, Sunday school, and you want to bring it home. All right, you are not telling them to do it, you're asking them. And what this does over time, children will be able to think, reason, and even become capable. And doing this over and over again helps them develop their brain, and they're able to become capable. All right, my number 5 technique is listen to them. When they're expressing their anger, their emotion, allow them to express it. Do not discount their voice, do not discount their emotions. For me, what personally I do, if they're expressing the tantrums and it's in a safe place, they're not, as long as they're not hitting someone, they're not hitting anything that may break, they're not hurting themselves. By the way, I allow them to cry, to scream, to shout. See, observe how they're expressing themselves. I'll distract myself and do something else just to show them I'm here, but I'm not giving you the attention that you want. What I'll do is when they're trying to scream and also trying to tell me what has happened, I'll tell them, I can't hear, but when you're done, mommy is just here. I'm just here, I'm going to listen to you. So he will cry, and then after some time you'll see him crawling towards you, and then he'll come and express himself and tell you what was happening. But now he's calmed down, and now you're able to communicate. A good scenario is when the boys opened school, one of them, Imani, was so frustrated, and he said saying that he's not interested to go to school is boring. And I wanted to find out why he was saying that. And so I visited him at school, and I noticed is that because they moved to a new class, they have a new teacher, and of course they've been reshuffled, and of course they're surrounded by new students, so it's sort of a new environment for him that is not used to, and he doesn't feel the vibe. And so when I came back home, I was like, oh, I looked at your class, there were so many beautiful charts that have been hung up. Who did all that? And then we started having a conversation. The thumbs up I was talking about, and actually of late I've not had him complain about him not wanting to go to school. So listen to them. What is it that is happening in their school, in their playgroup, that they're trying to express to you? So that's very important. My next point is offer choices. Of course, children want to feel they're in control, and these 2 choices that you're giving, you're okay with either of them. All right, so if you're having those tantrums in the morning when they are going to school, you can either tell them, Amani, it's either you go with your 2 feet to the bus, or mommy will take you with her 2 feet to the bus. So whichever he chooses, you're comfortable with it, and eventually you'll see him choosing one. He'll either say, I'll go with mommy to the bus. Are we going to the bus? Yes, we are going to the bus. Or it's time to change. Something that I do with my little one, when it's in the morning and we want to change from the pajamas, I'll show him either pants or short, and I'll give him a choice. What do you want, shorts or pants? Then he'll choose one. Either way, are we getting dressed? We are getting dressed. So what happens when you give them choices? It minimizes the tantrums, the arguments, and also bad behavior. My 7th technique is model the behavior. Remember, monkey see, monkey do. You want your children to be respectful, you want your children to behave well, model it. Children are listening, children are watching. So if you're always disrespecting your house manager or your husband, you're always fighting and saying these words, that is what they will pick. If you're always raising your voice, that is what they will pick. And you'll be so surprised when you're speaking to your child, they're turning to you and you're screaming and you're shouting to you. It is what they are observing. It is what they are seeing in their environment. Enough times I've been in circles where I see a child wants to hit the mommy, a child is screaming and shouting at the mom. I'm like, let me go this side, I'm coming. So model the behavior you want to see in your child. If you're always talking to your child in a kind, respectful but firm way, that is what they will get accustomed to, and that is what they will nurture, and that is what they will start doing. So that is something that as parents we need to improve every day. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. Oh my goodness, I used to scream, I used to shout, but I've gotten to learn over time. But you know what, I can be firm, but at the same time I can be kind to these little ones. All right, my last most important point as a parent is give yourself a break. Please take good care of yourself. Go out, go for a swim, go to the gym, go meet your friends. Be somewhere where you're not trying to discipline or someone is trying to throw tantrums at you. Just go out and enjoy the environment somewhere else, so that when you come in, you are calm, you feel your mind is clear, and this will help you even as you raise these small children. So I hope this content has been so important, and it's gonna help a parent somewhere there. Let's teach each other. As I said, I'm still a mom of those small children, and that's why this topic is so important to me, because this is the stage where I'm at. So if you're a parent who's at the same stage, let's share, what do you do to prevent and manage this meltdown? What works for you, what doesn't work for you, and let's grow together. So thank you for listening to me, and God bless you till we meet again. It's adios.